Hey everyone, it's Stori here, and this is RP Weekly. So we're on episode 19, and I did not do an episode last week, and you will find out really why in tomorrow's video, which is a vlog. I was away, and so we're going to just jump right into this week. We're going to start off with RP Trends, and for the first one I'm going to give you tasks weekly, but from this week and the week before for the episode that I missed. So for their task 8 was period and historical face claims, and the one for this week is deaf and hard of hearing, and that is inspired, I think they said, from the fact that it is hard of hearing awareness month, so which I think is a pretty exciting thing to celebrate and acknowledge. And for my other trend, I'm gonna say that city and town RPs are really making a wide comeback, and I think that partly plays into the fact that there are a lot more actless roleplays nowadays. So this is just a trend that I noticed was happening in the RPC. So for the RP wishlist this week, I have a few things. I'll be honest, I am in recovery from traveling, so I'm a little slow, but we're gonna make do. So what I came up with firstly was The Raven Cycle, which is a book series that I highly recommend. It's young adult fiction. There's a lot of Celtic mythology into it, which is right up my alley. It's basically like the Marauders if they were in modern American world universe. So I'm going to give this 5 corgis. And next is just a fun little one they thought would be kind of interesting to see is online dating. And this one I'm going to give 4 corgis to. Thirdly, I have Vermont. When you watch my other video, you'll know why I picked Vermont. No, but Vermont is the place I recently was this past week, and it's beautiful, and I loved it. And so it's a very underused place for some reason in terms of locations of town roleplays, even city. It's a beautiful landscape to consider having maybe a small town RP in. And the next one, I need to take a moment, but it is called Raven Girl. It is a book, fairy tale, and I read it this past week because I was at a library that had it and I was curious, and it was the most interesting book I have read in quite a while, and it's a very quick read. Honestly, don't read it. Don't do it. Go look up some reviews and that's all you'll need to know. In the spirit of humor, I'm going to give it 5 corgis, because if someone can manage to make this a roleplay, I will forever be amazed by anything they do ever after that point. Next I have summer camp roleplays, but ones that don't close down once the summer's over. Like, it's a very common thing, so I think it would be cool to kind of have this roleplay that maybe set during, real time of summer, have it at a summer camp, but then be able to bring it back to those characters outside of the summer camp and continue on the plots and add more characters or whatever you feel. So really, I think it has the potential to be a lot more than just a, not really aesthetic roleplay, but a seasonal, that's the word I'm thinking, seasonal. And this one I will give 2 corgis to. And finally, for my RP wish list, I have crossover roleplays. I am tired. Crossover roleplays. I know there's a few of them here and there. I know Glee does a lot, like Glee Hogwarts, and I saw a Bandom and Harry Potter one. But it's I feel like it's a common thing to have crossovers of things, so I think there should be a roleplay that takes advantage of that quite a lot more, at least with the main plot wise. And that one I'm going to give 3 corgis to. For Favorite Faces this week, I have Elliot Fletcher, and he is a trans male. He's known for Faking It and The Fosters. And secondly, I have Rahul Kohli, who's known from I's a Zombie. So for notable blogs this week, we're going to start off with Beautiful Faces. They post up a bunch of face claims. I actually followed them on my personal because they're really cool. So navigation's really cool. You can sort by relationships, mother-daughter, mother-son relationships, but you can also sort it by ages, ethnicity, various other things as well. I thought it was a really cool site. They have a lot of different face claims that I hadn't really thought of before. And it's a very simple way to get specifically what you're looking for. So this next one, I need my phone to see this one, because it's a bunch of letters. So it's MMHXNI of RP. They are on hiatus right now, but they still have plenty of resources for you to browse through and look at. But their resources focus on mainly Eastern and Southern Asian face claims. And do not worry, they have a full master list of all the face claims they've made resources for there. So if you're looking for someone very specific, you'll probably find it there. This next one is called Churches RP. They're semi-Atlas. I don't believe they're open yet, though by the time this video goes up they might open. But they are set in LA. They won't be taking OCs. Although it's based a lot on biblical beings. Their plot is that there are two gods and one mysteriously dies by an illness, and that's also killing off angels as well, and demons. Demons too. They're killing off demons. And so there's also this lore, well, not lore, plot point that when belief in the beings wane, their powers do as well. There's also a hint of mentioning of the Four Horsemen as well, so this is a very in-depth plot that I'm really interested in seeing more of. I'm interested to see what sort of characters appear, so take a look at them. Next is Reckoning HQ, and this is a crime roleplay. It is Atlas. So this focuses on agents of Havoc, which is kind of like an espionage type of, what's the word? Not group, but corporation, I guess? I don't know. But they focus on the agents of them, but they also focus on the law enforcement and the clients as well. So you can have a wider variety of options for characters. They have a list of positions available for Havoc. There's also a history as well of Havoc, so you can learn all about where it came from, how it started, who runs it, and all that. And what was really cool is that they have a side blog that's called like the Mission Control blog, and that's where the plot points will go and the missions themselves also. And next is Spiritually RP, and this is a soulmate RP type of plot. People are coming back from the dead as vampires, and so it's Atlas, and so you have the characters, just their loved ones are coming back, which is a really cool plot. I like the twist where they're vampires when they come back, so that's an added development thing that you have to work through with your character. Next is I hate French sometimes. C'est la vie, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing this right. C'est la vie HQ, and this is a plotless Atlas roleplay set in Paris, actually. I really loved their color scheme. It was very pretty. I really liked blue and pink together. For some reason that was coming to me, but they're great. Check them out. And next is City of London RP. So obviously it's set in London. It is semi-Atlas, and they focus a lot on LGBTQA characters. That's really where they're focused, which I think is great. It was really cool for their job inspiration pages that they break down the industries and what sort of jobs are in the certain borough. Next is Around the Throne RPG, and this one is set in the 1500s actually in England, and it is Atlas. They have a massive list of characters that show different roles that you can play in terms of the world, you know, instead of more than just, you know, being royalty, for example. Then I have Whispering Walls RP, and this is set in 2030, and this is a Harry Potter universe roleplay. But what is different is that muggles are attacking. Actually, they found out about the wizarding world and they're attacking, and so the Ministry of Magic is trying to keep that under wraps, which usually doesn't go well. I'm gonna butcher this really well. Ellen Venin. I haven't spoken Elvish in quite some time, and this makes me think of Elvish. But this is a roleplay group that is set in the Isle of Man, in a small town named Peel. It's set in modern day, and it is an original fantasy roleplay, so you can play as fantasy beings. So on to Indie RP. This week I have Lizzie Bennett in Japan. They do Harry Potter roleplaying. This is a cosplay roleplayer. And then I have Varric at your service, and this is Varric Tethras from Dragon Age, my babe. And finally I have Danielle Chase, and they are a Gigi Hadid face claim, so check all of them out. And finally I have my Twitter roleplays. I have Sam Winchester, obviously, Supernatural. And secondly is Book Smarting, and they are a Hermione Granger roleplay. And finally for notable blogs this week, I have, It's Mona Vanderwall, but it's Mona23085657. I'm gonna wrap this up really quickly, and obviously there's Goodie Bag this week. There's a bunch of things in there. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up adding more after I record this because I want to make up for that missed week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments, subscriptions, and I will see you all. Thank you for comments, subscriptions, messages, all of that, all the love. So have a great end of week, beginning of week, whatever time zone you're in. My name is Stori, and I will see you next week on RP Weekly.